Some things need time, not force. A little girl found a cocoon in her garden. She saw the butterfly struggling inside and, wanting to help, she gently tore it open. But the butterfly emerged weak and unable to fly, because it needed that struggle to grow strong. In life, we often try to fix things we can't control, only to harm the process. Trust the timing. Trust the struggle. Beautiful things unfold when you stop forcing and start allowing. The same is true for you. Your growth cannot be rushed. Your journey cannot be forced. Everything is happening as it should, even when you can't see it yet. Acceptance is the birthplace of peace. Acceptance doesn't mean you like what happened, it means you stop fighting reality. And when you stop fighting, you stop suffering. You can't change the past. You can't control every outcome. But you can choose peace now. Acceptance is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of your freedom. And when you choose acceptance, you create a life that feels softer, lighter, and more open to joy. The weight you carried for so long begins to dissolve, and for the first time, you breathe freely again. Your soul was meant to soar, not be chained by control. When you let go of what you can't control, you open the door to something extraordinary, peace, freedom, and a life that feels lighter. Today, choose to release the weight you were never meant to carry. Breathe deeply. Surrender gently. And watch how life flows when you stop trying to force the river. The path ahead is waiting for you, free, open, and full of possibilities. Step into it with trust, and you will discover a world that feels like home. Not every weight is yours to bear. We live in a world that convinces us that control equals safety. We try to control outcomes, people, situations, believing that if we just hold on tighter, nothing will break. But life was never designed to be fully in our hands. Every time you cling to what you can't change, you're only adding chains to your soul. The truth? The things beyond your control were never yours to manage, they belong to the flow of life itself. Real freedom begins when you loosen your grip and trust that the universe knows what it's doing. When you stop forcing and start flowing, life begins to feel lighter, softer, and more aligned with your spirit. Letting go is not losing, it's choosing peace over pain. The tighter you hold, the more life slips away. Control feels comforting, doesn't it? It makes you believe you're safe. But control is an illusion, it's like trying to hold water in your fist. The more you grip, the faster it escapes. In truth, life is full of uncertainty, and no amount of planning can erase that. The only constant you have is your response. Let go of the obsession with perfection and certainty. They don't exist. Peace begins the moment you accept what you cannot change and redirect your energy toward what you can, your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. When you stop wasting energy on what's beyond you, you discover an incredible truth. There is freedom in not knowing everything. The unknown is not your enemy, it is your doorway to growth. Fear builds walls, trust opens doors. Why do we cling so tightly? Because fear whispers lies. Fear says, if you let go, everything will fall apart. But what if the opposite is true? What if letting go is the very thing that allows life to fall into place? Fear locks you in a silent prison, where you trade peace for anxiety, and freedom for chains. But there's a key, and that key is surrender. When you trust that life has a rhythm and a plan, you stop fighting against the current and start flowing with it. And in that flow, you find yourself carried to places more beautiful than your fear ever imagined. Fear wants control, but your soul craves peace, and peace is born when fear no longer rules your choices. Sometimes survival means surrender. There was once a man who fell into a raging river. Terrified, he thrashed against the water, fighting desperately to swim to the shore. But the more he resisted, the weaker he became. Exhausted and near drowning, he finally stopped fighting and let the current carry him. To his surprise, the river brought him to a calm shore. In life, we often do the same, resist what we cannot control, only to exhaust ourselves. But peace comes when you trust the flow instead of battling it. Sometimes the safest thing you can do is stop fighting the current and let the river guide you where you were meant to go. Life flows in mysterious ways, but it always knows the way home. Letting go isn't giving up, it's moving forward. Many people confuse letting go with weakness. But letting go is strength. It takes courage to loosen your grip when everything inside you wants control. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop suffering over what's beyond your reach. It means choosing your peace over endless struggle. When you release the need to control the uncontrollable, you create space for something beautiful, freedom. And with that freedom comes clarity, healing, and a life that feels lighter. You stop being chained to outcomes and start living in the present moment, which is the only place peace truly exists. In surrender, you find serenity. Imagine a life where your happiness doesn't depend on everything going your way. That life exists, and it begins with surrender. Surrender is not passive, it's active trust. It's saying, I will do my best, and let life handle the rest. When you release control, you stop swimming against the current. You float. You breathe. And you finally experience peace. The storms may still come, but you will not be shaken, because your peace no longer depends on perfect conditions. You have anchored yourself in trust, and that trust will carry you through every season of life. Letting go is not one moment, it's a practice. You don't just let go once and never struggle again. It's a daily practice, a gentle reminder to yourself that control is an illusion. Every morning, choose what matters and release what doesn't. Let go of the fear, the what-ifs, and the need to predict everything. When you practice release, you make room for peace to enter. And with every day you choose release, you become lighter, softer, and freer. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Slowly, surrender becomes your natural state, and peace becomes your constant companion.